being sincere when you already have it. It's not missing from your relationship.
Just say it again. Even if you're doing that effort, you can just say, here's what I'm trying to do.
Here's what I'm already successful at doing.
That's not the same thing.
I think you'll get way more traction if you say, rather than say, I've been doing it all this time, is if you say, I can try harder to not be dismissive. What triggers me is when you talk to me in this way or that way, but I still want to keep making the effort to be respectful.
Yeah, that's insulting.
To whom?
To me. It's a
Bear
ridiculous thing to say.
Bear that insult. It'll be good for your marriage.
No, I won't do it, and I don't want it. If you were to give me everything I ever wanted by doing that, I'd say no. I'd rather have nothing than have that.
She's done or said something that I don't like, or she acts in a way I don't like. I just don't want to reward that behavior anymore. I'm not.
So you retreat
I
as
guess
a way
that's the
to
best.
punish?
Not as a way to punish. It's just.
Well, not reward as punish.
Okay. Well, maybe that's it.
You're trying to have an impact by retreating. A passive impact by saying, I don't want this I don't approve of this behavior. Yes?
Yeah.
And the behavior you don't approve of is?
I don't know. She gets mad all the time. She's always mad at something. She's always yelling at something.
Anger is rarely a primary emotion, right? Usually anger is like some kind of defense against something else. Feeling humiliated, feeling sad, feeling hurt. People don't like to feel vulnerable, so they put up anger. So your way of avoiding the fighting is to try to minimize interaction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you could be offering more and you're withholding maybe because you're resentful or...
Yeah.
So what if when you want to withdraw and minimize interaction, go towards? You hear what Elaine wants from you, right? She wants to spend time with you. Yes.
Yes.
You're laughing because?
I feel like I will do that, right? And I'll do that for 6 days out of the week. That 7th day, if she wants me to do something and I don't want to do it or I can't do it, it's all for naught. And it's just like,
we have to deal with that, and I will help the two of you deal with that.
I don't feel like I want to deal with that anymore.
Oh, I'm here. You can't, that's not, no. No, we're working.
All right.
My approach is different. Like, I just tuck it away. Like, I don't say anything.
The business of tucking things away doesn't really work to sustain a real marriage.
But I think the way I've been handling it is that, like, I go into this disbelief that and I resent her for it, like, and I just don't.
Right, but then you grow increasingly miserable and resentful, not feeling good about yourself and resentful that your efforts are not recognized. And I assume that some of these behaviors just slip away and you start acting shady. They're almost like passive-aggressive ways of getting back at Evelyn for making you feel bad. Maybe even I'm going to punish Evelyn unconsciously.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it might be tied into that. Like, it's almost just kind of like a, forget you kind of thing. Like, I'm doing
you
my
make
own
me
thing.
feel bad. I'm just
so I don't care about you or your feelings. Maybe, sure.
By operating this way, you weaken the relationship.
Yeah.
So you weaken it, and then it's harder to trust it. When you say something like, for what? Do you know what impact that's having, how you're coming across?
It may seem like I don't care to go out. Even in that split moment, like I had a smirk on my face because, you know, like I thought it was something special and it just came out that way. Like I was kind of like hiding my smile for the fact that he was telling me that he wanted to take me out.
But why are you hiding your
I don't
smile?
know.
What is going
I don't know.
on?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, no,
So-
stop. Think. Why are you hiding your smile? You're turning a smile into a smirk.
It just happens that way.
But you're saying that the inside feels the opposite, that you're happy, that you're noticing that Drew is offering you something special,
Yeah.
and you're turning it around into kind of a nasty response.
Well, I mean, as far as my dad's concerned, I mean, if it, for him, it's a lost cause. I mean, I'm a worthless person to him, and he doesn't want to ask forgiveness, and I'll never give it to him. I don't really care. Well, I guess I don't care. I mean, I don't
It's
care.
very hard to not care when he's your father. It's just it puts you in an
Well,
kind of
yeah, I mean, it
impossible
sounds shitty to
bind.
say that I don't care, but
I
it's
don't.
like,
It doesn't sound shitty. I mean, he sounds like something was wrong with him.
my mom's, you know, completely different now, and we have a wonderful relationship. Yes, I haven't dealt with any of this, but I've also moved so past it that, you know, I'm kind of like in that, it is what it is.
Right. But I guess, I mean, getting into a relationship that matters to you will kick all of that up.
Very true.
I choose to push through and make things happen.
But there's some way that you deal with the emotional implications of whatever we're talking about differently.
Yeah.
And I think India is suggesting that you do some kind of dissociation there, that you cut yourself off from that.
I'm always torn between that because it's like, you know, what am I supposed to do with that? You know? Mm-hmm. It's like I'm here trying to just make a living for myself. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Well, the way I see it sometimes is that even the acknowledgement is so taxing. So, I don't know. Sometimes I choose just not to give validation to it, and just.
But I just want to understand. So when you allow yourself more contact with feelings, and you say, what am I supposed to do with this? What happens between the two of you? Is there somewhere for that to go between the two of you?
Well, I mean, I would ask the question, what is she supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously I've shared with her, but I don't necessarily want to.
But do you get upset?
In that moment? Mm-hmm. No.
It's just very
not really.
matter of fact.
No.
Because, first of all, that is like a great burden to carry on your own. And even if you dissociate from it, it's still there, weighing on you.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of things that happen when you share it with another person and you feel understood. Mm-hmm. It has this kind of miraculous power to transform very difficult feelings to something that becomes useful.
Yeah.
And help the two of you deepen what you have together.
We were like in cloud 9 last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here I go, just bringing it all down.
You know, I was thinking about your comment at the end of last session about like the crushes. And one way to think about it is that you were saying to the two of you, look, there's still stuff for us to work on. We're not on cloud 9.
You know, what she said was hurtful, but she kept wanting to have conversations. And I was like, what did Orna tell you? Orna told you need to have the conversation with yourself, not me.
Yeah.
Talk to your subconscious, maybe bring it to the forefront why you even said that.
I think what really brought it to light was just writing about it. Because she wasn't going to hear it, so I wrote about it. But I wrote just a whole bunch of like little details where I was like, oh, do I feel like I'm deserving of this? Do I feel like, you know, I'm just one that always sabotages stuff? Like I have all these fears. But the one thing that I know and that I want after writing all of that was her.
Yeah.
I choose you.
You're just feeling more on the side of the exhale. Felt like I feel like I've been living at the top of it, like holding my breath. That image of like a frayed electrical wire. But now, I can't help but think about what I didn't understand, which is that by emotionally withholding, I have a part in this too. Because I think in the past, I have mostly walked away feeling indignant and feeling like, you know, the nice guy who's misunderstood by his wife.
There it is. That's it.
That's how I feel. I'm not feeling that way today.
Right. I have needed that T-shirt for years. Yes.
Yeah. So I was thinking when you were talking about a parigraha, I started to think about asteya, which is like
About what?
So another word is asteya, which means non-stealing.
Which could also refer to not just things, of course, but energy, time.
I think that the grasping and stealing is very good. You grasp, you steal.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm stealing her time when I'm not even in her presence because of what I've done to cause that cycle to play out. I don't know. I don't mean to like wrap some sort of button on and bow on anything at all. That's sort of.
But you're first of all, I very much appreciate what you're saying. I'm sure it's very meaningful for you to hear that you're each doing real good work together. So that's yours.
I think that's where I'm so different than the first time we sat here and when I wanted to run away from this whole thing.
It's like, what is even the point? What's the point?
Can you let me do some of the work and you relax?
Yeah, okay.
So how are you feeling when Michal is saying these things?
She's not wrong. Like, she's aware of the facts as well as I am. Like, the reason I was chuckling was I was imagining Michal running a three-legged race with my son, and I could imagine her, like, dragging him along, not caring that he was, like, crying. And I feel like, yeah, I might lose the race if I ran with him, but I think he'd enjoy it more. It was more just like the absurdity struck me.
How do you feel when Michal is describing you as lazy, unable to pull your weight?
I mean, that hurts.
Exploiting her.
I don't think I'm lazy. I think I work pretty hard.
How do you feel?
I don't like that it hurts her, but I do like that she provokes me to do more and be better.
So there's something about this dynamic that's working for you.
Right, and that's probably unhealthy for me to just be like, well, that works for me.
What I'm trying to decipher is whether there's something about this kind of dynamic of being provoked that is enjoyable, pleasurable to you, or are you actually humiliated, or both?
I wouldn't say that it's pleasurable. I'd say that it's useful.